Melodious sounds of the erhu and flute float into my room and envelop me in peaceful music. My eyes flutter open and immediately clamp shut as they're greeted by the sharp light of the sun. The sun is so high in the sky I can barely see it through the window, just the tenacious rays poking through it. I stretch my limbs out to awake them from their slumber as blood rushes through my veins, invigorating the rest of my body. The streets are bustling with waves of black hair bobbing through the sea of colorful clothing. Such close proximity of the huge number of people lay a sticky, humid feeling in the air. I like the chaos, the uneasy nature that anything could happen. Due to the preparation for the spring festival, the streets are even busier than usual. Soft chatter softly lies beneath the yelling of the vendors. Scrolls and lucky signs for 3 yen. Hang it upside down for luck. The biggest bargain you'll ever come across, one of them yells. A vendor that catches my eye from the side of the bridge. He picks up a sticky, sweet ball of candy and plops it on a stick. His lips part, blowing it to transform it into the shape of a chicken. Memories of my mother flood my brain. Her dark brown eyes full of care and compassion remind me that if I'm good, we'd go to town and get any candy animal I want. Her soft hands held mine as we walked through town. My heart sinks as I realize it's one of the few memories I have left of her since her death. However, I know that mourning her would be, in a way, disrespecting her life, and as her chi has been returned to the earth. A small child runs into my leg and looks up at me with those big eyes, and her mother runs after and apologizes. I smile and say good morning. She mentions what a beautiful day it is, and returns mine with a warm smile. Her daughter pulls her along, screaming, "Mommy, I want to hear the poem." The melodious ring of words catches my attention. Men and children alike are huddled around the storyteller. His voice captures the senses as closing your eyes whisks you to another place. The smooth, husky voice and soft flow from word to word leaves you lingering on everything he says. Before Kongming Shrine stands an ancient cypress. Its branches are like green bronze, its roots just like stone, the frosted bark slippery with rain. Its 40 spans around. Its blackness blends into the sky 2,000 feet above. Master and servant have already reached their time's end. The tree, however, still remains, receiving men's devotion. Clouds come and bring the air of Wuxia's gorgeous vastness. The moon comes out, along with the coldest snowy mountain whiteness. The sweet words of Dufu are like music to my ears as I let myself sway to the storyteller's words. I pull my lingering ears from the captivating story as I realize I have somewhere to be. On my tiptoes, I peek through a slit in the wood to see the woman of the silk factory. My heart flutters as I see a beautiful girl tenderly weaving the silk. Her fingers race and weave beautiful materials. I often come here and watch her work. She doesn't know this, but I've been in love with her since I've been a Confucian official. Skinny men with ribs protruding have beads of sweat rolling down their face. They're hauling bags of rice in preparation for the ceremony. Plastered onto their faces a wide grin as friendly chit-chat is exchanged as the men labor through their work. Their backs are arched and their knees bent in order to support the load of rice. They're all preparing for the spring celebration. I glance past them a peaceful river as oars propel the boats. The river is busier than usual and is full of boats. A commotion takes place as panic arises through the crowds. A strong gale of wind sends the boat straight towards the bridge as both the men on the boat exclaim and the men on the bridge panic. Running towards the shore, I grab a long rope and hurl it with my entire body weight towards the panicked men. I call for help as merchants and passers-by drop what they're doing. With the might of 9 men, we pull the boat away from danger. Passers-by cheer and applaud us as the men on the boat yell out in gratitude. I feel accomplished for doing a good deed and exalted for my quick thinking. The soft patter of the horses' heavy bags are draped over the large animals. 2 men struggle with the weight of the sedan as I try to peek into the bright red material concealing the woman. Curiosity bewilders me for a second, but I give up trying to peek over the curious heads. I walk over to a stall as I join my friends. They mock me for being late, but they're being carried off into another world to really care. They have a bottle of wine and are halfway through the thick red liquid. I sip wine as it burns down my throat. The sickly sweet remnants are left in my tongue. The less the content of the bottle, the further we are from the world. A sumptuous meal is laid out as the sweet smell of roast pork creeps across the table and into my nostrils, sending mouth-watering pangs of hunger through my body. My tongue lets the tender meat melt as I chase it down with wine. We talked of politics and poetry as we engaged in friendly banter as well. Away from the hectic, demanding world, we'd sip our wine and forget the world. In our own form of heaven, we spent our lives, shut off from the rest of the world, in our own possible bliss. This is the life.